And I'm here with
My name is Eddie.
Yeah.
I'm a developer here at Salt.
yeah. And what are you going to explain for us today?
I will briefly try to explain what the CLI is, what it means, what it does, and how it does it, and why one would use it.
Great. Let's get started. What does it mean to start off with?
Well, it stands for Command Line Interface, and basically it's just another way of interacting with your computer. So normally what you would do when you interact with your computer is you do that through the GUI, the graphical user interface, and you do so by clicking on tabs, opening windows, pressing certain buttons that perform
Basically, like anybody, what a normal computer would look like.
yeah. So what the CLI does differently, and well, you start off by opening the terminal window on Mac.
What's that? What's a terminal window?
It's the shell, so
Yeah,
it's what interprets what your commands.
Yeah.
On Mac and Linux system, we call it Bash. On Windows, I think it's the command prompt.
Yeah.
And so basically what you do is you type in something, the shell interprets it, and then you have the OS kernel, which is like the most central component of your computer, that executes the command. So you can think about the kernel as a kind of like a bridge between your applications and like the actual data processing done at hardware level.
It's like the core, really, in some sense.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And why do people use the command line rather than using GUIs and nice things? Why?
Well, because it basically gives the user superpowers.
Yeah.
Kind of. You can perform tasks at a lot faster rate because you're just typing them in. You can change directories. You can automate tasks, run scripts to perform a change in maybe a dozen files at the same time by looping through
So
them.
it's basically quicker did.
Yeah.
It could be
Yeah.
at least, if you know it.
And if many commands can be like really long and hard to remember, so you can give them an alias. So you just typing a shorthand and. Yeah.
So some other thing is typically what kind of other techniques? So you talked about Linux that typically use CLI. Is there anything else this kind of that is connected to this?
Well,
this word?
Many things that we use on a daily basis as a developer. For example, you have Git, which it's kind of exclusively designed for the CLI. So all the commands, everything you do when you interact with it is through
Just
the
give
CLI.
a shot. What's Git? That's also a big word.
It's a tool for version control.
Yeah.
So basically, when you write your code, it's a repository maybe that keeps track of the history of the code you've written. And also many repositories on, for example, GitHub require you to use the CLI to set them up and
Yeah, that's
and
another
run.
one. GitHub. What's GitHub?
Well, it's
You
basically
should know this, but
it's
this is
basically like Git, but the GUI version of it.
Yeah, a lot of place where you can find a lot of developers hang out and
Exactly.
publish projects and
Yeah.
What's your GitHub page look like? What have you got there?
Well, it's a bit embarrassing, but I have a lot of old projects from when I used to study applications development.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm looking to fill it with more projects with JavaScript and so.
So obviously you quit your job at NASA to do this. What's your plan? What's your done?
Well, when I think about like my future job, I don't really think about that much about a certain company or something like that. I mostly like to come to a place where like teamwork is one of the main, like, most important things in communication. That's for me the most important part.
And you're almost about a month to go now of the course. And what's your impression so far?
Well, I really love being here at Salt. It's very intense, long hours, but it's really worth it. You learn a lot. I mean, in comparison to what I did studied before for 2 years, I feel like I learned so much more here in about a month.
Yeah, cool. Thanks a lot for coming. It was great.
Thank you.
Great explanation. And good luck. And if you want to hire Eddie, follow the link. You can see Eddie's profile. Check out his GitHub, of course. It's going to be soon updated with some really cool JavaScript stuff. And get in touch with Salt.